that video. right. Hello, and good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well on this wonderful morning. Welcome to our presentation for Midtown High School as we discuss attendance. And what we are going to do is share some insightful information as it pertains to attendance. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm happy to have everybody here. Thank you to this amazing team that has joined us. I am going to share my screen and we'll go ahead and get started with our presentation. And also just to be mindful that our presentation today is being recorded. All right. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right. And if anybody has any issues seeing it, just let me know. So welcome to our attendance informational. So this is meant to be an informational meeting here. And we will go ahead and do introductions. And we'll start with our amazing principal, Dr. Bachman.
Hold on. You think I get my camera? Hold on here. Hold on. Okay. Hang on just a second. Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. This is a new presentation that we're doing. We'll record it as well and have it available for parents and anyone else. Sometimes the attendance coding and attendance procedures can be a bit of a mystery. So we are glad to get this out there in a clear form. Any questions, feel free to ask. I appreciate your support.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Bachman. We also will have our assistant principal, Ms. Davis. She'll be on in just a moment. I am Ms. Johnson. I am the school social worker here at Midtown High School. Ms. Robinson, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, I'm Ms. Kristen Robinson. I'm the 11th and 12th grade graduation coach here at Midtown High School.
All right, and Ms. Vaughn.
Good morning, I am Melissa Vaughn and I am the 9th and 10th grade graduation coach here at Midtown.
All right, thank you so much. And Officer Barr.
Good morning, Officer Barr, one of the school resource officers here at Midtown. Good morning.
All right, and Ms. Rivera.
Good morning, my name is Nidia Rivera, the bilingual community specialist here in Midtown.
All right, Ms. Schroeder, I think I said her name correctly. I hope so. I did not.
Actually, it's Julie Noble. But it's even more confusing because I'm at Alex Kaufman's desk because but I'm one of your attendance clerks in the front office. The front office was a little too loud to be in today, but I'm Julie, not Alex.
there we go. Look, and we'll make sure that it's Julia, right?
Julie.
Okay. Julie, okay. Julia. And look at that. And technology amazing. So now we got your name right. All right. And okay, so that's who we have with us today. However, I do want to allow Miss Clay to introduce herself, who's also a very pivotal piece to our success here at Midtown High School.
Good morning, I'm Miss Clay. Excuse my look because I dressed up for Throwback Thursday, but I am the Student Support Disc Pro Specialist. So I get to work with the attendance team and some other teams, and I'm glad to be here.
All right, thank you so very much. So now we will go on with our agenda. Our agenda for today, Dr. Bachman, if you want to share any more sentiments, you're more than welcome to. And then I will share the purpose of the meeting. And then we'll go into attendance letters, truancy policy. And then we will go into interventions. And I actually will be covering interventions as well. Consequences, attendance data. And then we'll go into educational effects, attendance excuses and coding, safety, and then the attendance vision for Midtown High School. Because we definitely have some goals here for as a school collectively, as a community as it pertains to attendance. Is a lot better. I mean, not better, I'm sorry, but it's a lot bigger than just being here in the seats. There's so much that is related to attendance. So we want to make sure that we kind of tackle everything that we can. This will be utilized as a forum, more informational for as far as questions are concerned. We will be glad to take those directly. You can contact myself or anybody else on the team but we definitely want to just use this as an opportunity for information. So Dr. Bachman, did you want to share anything else before we jump in?
No, go ahead.
All right, wonderful. So again, the purpose of our meeting is just to give some insight and some information as it pertains to attendance. It is a very huge lift just for the district. Just overall, we know that COVID definitely took a toll as far as how we do things, how we operate, everything. So it has affected how we look and how we deal with attendance, very much so, because we understand that there are ramifications, after effects, right, of COVID and just life situations. So I will start with the attendance letters. I kind of want to go through the process of how attendance is handled here at Midtown High School, and also just statewide, district-wide. So we do have an attendance policy that is listed in the student handbook, and I will provide a QR code. I think I can pull that up. Yeah, I'll provide a QR code where you can scan that, or you can just go to the student handbook and it's listed in there as well. In that student handbook, it does go over what the policies and protocols are as far as attendance is concerned for our students. As far as the attendance letters are concerned, because I definitely know that there have been a lot of concerned parents that have expressed the letters being threatening, and making them, making them feel very uneasy, which I totally understand. However, I just wanted to clarify that the verbiage in those letters are simply mentioned as facts. Those are state laws, those are state things that are put in place as far as extremely truant situations. Now, I know when people get the letter, it can be very off-putting. However, it only states what the consequences are if we're dealing with a severe truant situation. Now, you may ask, what is truant? What is severely truant? What is truancy? Typically for the state of Georgia, 10 or more unexcused absences are considered truancy. Okay, so that's 10 or more. However, we do not just jump straight to court. We make sure that we provide several interventions prior to even doing a juvenile court referral, because if we get in front of a judge, the first thing that the judge is going to ask is, what did you do on the school level to address this issue? Okay, so we take everything literally by case basis. We don't just jump straight to court. So as far as the attendance letters are concerned, they are used as a means to kind of send a warning flag to say, hey, your student is at 3 unexcused absences. If you have excuses, let's get those turned in, because you only have 3 days after the absence to turn in an excuse per the student handbook. Again, you only have 3 days after the student returns to turn in an excuse. If a student is out for more than 3 days, then we require a doctor's note. Okay, so if it's more than 3 days, or if it's looking like it's going to be something more, longer, then we have resources that we can provide. We have things that we can put in place to handle situations like that. So again, attendance letters go out at 3 unexcused absences, 5 unexcused absences, and 8 unexcused absences. So when you get those letters, that's why it does say for you to contact someone. I do know that we have been flooded with emails, flooded with correspondences, and we are trying to get back to everybody as quickly as possible. Please know that we are not ignoring you. But if you kind of need to know whether or not your child is a truant situation, if you look at their attendance, which you can see in the parent portal, you're able to look at their attendance. We send out robocalls, we send out messages via Infinite Campus. We do all of these things. All of these are classified as interventions. The robocalls, the messages at Infinite Campus, the phone calls that you may receive from the teacher, the phone call that you may receive from the assistant principal, any phone calls from me, the attendance letters, the 3, 5, and 8 letters, all of these are listed as interventions. Okay, so if you want to know whether or not your child is truant, when you look at their attendance, and if you know, or if you're not sure where the absences are coming from, you're sure that you dropped them off in the morning, you're certain they made it to school on time, and it's all red, then you may want to contact us, because it may be a situation where the student may be skipping. And if they're skipping, then we need to address that matter. And we'll get to safety later with Officer Barr, but we want to make sure that we are addressing any behaviors or any barriers that gets in the way of the student attending class. So just because they make it here in the building does not mean that they're where they're supposed to be. Okay, so I know it's you know, we say, hey, my child was there on time, they were where they were supposed to be, and technically they may have been in the building but may not have been in class. And so please know that these letters are not meant to be threatening at all. Unfortunately, we do have students and we do have situations where attendance is a very huge problem, and we do have to proceed to court. And so we do have to be able to present our case and say, hey, look, we called, we sent messages, we sent robocalls, we called home, we met with the parents, we hosted a Zoom, we sent letters, we exhaust every possible intervention before we press forward. Okay, so as far as the process is concerned, let's say there is a student that is truant, right? 10 or more unexcused absences, no doctor's notes, no real valid reason as to why the child has been absent. Then we have a process. After the letters, after we talk, then we typically do a defects referral. That defects referral is meant to provide resources for the family to determine what is the underlying reason as to why the student is missing so many days. But please know that we're not going to go that step until we have tried and attempted at the school-based level to try to handle the attendance concern. Once defects is involved, defects is meant to be there as a resource. It is not necessarily punitive, but is there to provide some sort of resource as to what may be happening in the home, what may be keeping the child from coming to school. And everybody has varying situations. We've ran into situations where unfortunately parents work at night. When they get home, the kids should already be at school. And so that's a situation that we have to kind of figure out how to make that work, right? And so it may not necessarily be that the family isn't trying. It may literally be a family situation where, you know, there may need to be some additional resources provided. Once that defects referral is put in, we typically try to do an attendance intervention plan. The attendance intervention plan is meant to sit down with the child, sit down with the family, and try to determine what exactly is the reason why the child is missing school. If that intervention plan doesn't work, if we've exhausted all of our resources and all of our interventions, then we move forward with filing a truancy court case. Okay, and even then, the court provides a liaison to try to help intervene before they even go before the judge. Because once you go before the judge, now we're looking at fines, possible jail time, and it's only what the law states. The only thing that those letters mention is what the law states. If the school has provided every intervention possible, there has been no improvement, and there's nothing more that we can do. Okay, so that pretty much covers the attendance letters, truancy policy, again, that's in the student handbook. All of our interventions, again, that includes phone calls, that includes messages, that includes robocalls, that includes emails, that includes forums like this, that includes the letters. So all of those count as interventions. So again, if you're not quite sure whether or not your child is an attendance concern, then we can definitely take a look one-on-one, and we can, you know, determine whether or not there are some things that we want to work on. These attendance letters do not follow the child to college. They do not follow them on their permanent record, or, you know, or anything like that. It is documented that a letter was sent. However, it's not anything that, you know, goes along with their college record, because I know that has been a question and concern as well. So that's pretty much it as far as attendance letters, truancy, and policy. The next thing that we will talk about is there are consequences if there are repetitive situations as far as missing school or skipping. And so Ms. Davis, we're gonna yield to her, and she's gonna discuss consequences and just share some attendance data. And just let me know when you're ready for that slide, Ms. Davis.
Okay, I will. Good morning, everyone. I am Melissa Davis, one of the assistant principals here at Midtown High School. And I help with the attendance committee here as well at the school. So just to talk about some consequences as it relates to attendance violations. And so that deals with skipping or leaving school grounds during the school day. And so according to Atlanta Public Schools handbook, student handbook, a minimum, if the first offense, they can have an administrative conference, they can be assigned after school detention as a school-based intervention. Now, when it becomes chronic, meaning they are skipping classes more than 2 offenses, then they will be assigned a day of in-school suspension. Also, if they leave school grounds without permission, that means they did not check out properly via the main office, parent notification was not given, and the assistant principal did not approve the leave, then they left unauthorized and they will receive a consequence of in-school suspension. So if there are attendance violations related to skipping or leaving, there's no, basically no notice, no prior notice given, they will receive a consequence of in-school suspension. We do try to talk to them at first to let them make sure students are clear and aware of what the policy states as far as attending class on time, being where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be there. But just know that it all goes back to safety and our safety concerns. We need to know where they are at all times for safety reasons. The attendance data, if you would, Ms. Johnson. I just wanted to highlight briefly where we currently are. And I think I pulled this data on Monday. And so overall, we have a 92.3% attendance, daily attendance rate, which is above the district. As you can see, 10th graders have the highest, sophomores have the highest attendance rate. Our seniors, I guess a few of them have may have senioritis at this point, but they're ones that we are constantly trying to work with to ensure that they are attending classes on time and daily. Right.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
some parents may not quite understand could you describe, what does that mean if we have 99th graders, 92.5%? What does that mean? That 92.5% of our students are
attending. So this is the average daily attendance. So on a daily basis, we have 92.5% of freshmen or 9th graders attending classes for the day or being counted at, meaning they were here at least for, I think it's 10 o'clock, and Ms. Noble, you can chime in, 11 o'clock, and then they're counted as being present for the entire day. Okay, and then 10th grade, as you can see, is 92.7%, 11th grade, 92.4%, and our seniors who have need a little attention right now, we're at 91.6%. As far as comparison to other high schools, we do have the highest attendance rate in the district for high schools, among our high schools, and we are constantly working to improve our attendance. So you will get the robocalls twice in the morning, twice in the afternoon, because we are concerned about attendance. And if they are not in class, they cannot pass. Ms. Maxwell has that sign on her door, and I love it. Students have to be in school. They have to be in class in order to pass the classes.
And that little blue dot, that's a good thing. It means that we're actually doing much better than last year.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. So we are 2%. We have improved attendance by 2% this year. And so the fact that we have been in person pretty much the entire year, that says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That is it for me, Ms. Johnson.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Davis. We greatly appreciate that. And now we are going to yield to our graduation coaches and bilingual community engagement specialists, Ms. Robinson, Ms. Vaughn, and Ms. Rivera, as far as educational effects, because students missing school, of course, and skipping definitely takes a toll. Research does say that even if a student misses 2 days, they have missed some critical information, critical data as far as their classes are concerned. And so these amazing engagement specialists and graduation coaches, they work directly with the students. They spend a lot of time boots on the ground, chasing students down, sitting students in, to help them with their work. And so I would really like for them to highlight some of the work that they do with the students, and also just so you can acknowledge that this is also considered an intervention and a resource. And I want them to share what they do and just how they see attendance concerns affect our students' education.
Good morning. I'm going to start off. As I stated earlier, I'm Ms. Robinson, the 11th and 12th grade graduation coach here at Midtown High School. Thank you all for joining us. So I do want to begin with just saying a few facts about attendance. Ms. Johnson definitely just stated how attendance has an effect on classroom performance. And a website that I like to use is Attendance Works. It's attendanceworks.org if anyone is interested in reading the facts. So I went and grabbed a few just to share with you all this morning. Research shows that missing 10% of school, or about 18 days in most school districts, can negatively affect a student's academic performance. That's just about 2 days a month. And even while missing school, we definitely appreciate when you all send in your notices so that we can make sure that they're excused absences, but excused or unexcused absences can continue to pile up, which takes them out of the classroom, which can contribute to those negative effects. And missing that much school can be known as a chronic absence. And if you've ever received an email from me, if your student's on my 11th or 12th grade caseload, I may have mentioned seat time. And so when I'm mentioning seat time, I'm just saying the importance of your scholar being in the building, being in the class. As Ms. Johnson stated earlier, we appreciate you all dropping them off, making sure they get to school, but sometimes if they're not where they're supposed to be, they may not get that attendance and get the seat time required from being in class. And according to a study from the Consortium on Chicago School Research, the freshman year of high school, researchers found that attendance in this year is pivotal. It's a transition year, which is a key indicator on whether students would finish high school. And as the graduation coaches, we are there as that support system. We're pushing them. Hey, were you in class? Here's some makeup work, etc. So starting in their freshman year of high school, that can set the goal of whether or not they will finish. And last but not least, the fact that I wanted to share with you all is attendance improves when schools engage students and parents in positive ways, and when schools provide mentors for chronically absent students. So firstly, I want to thank you all for being here, supporting your scholars, finding out about the importance of attendance. And we have a wonderful support team here at Midtown to keep our students engaged. We're trying to provide support in any way that we can to make sure that when your scholar is in the building with us, they are comfortable, they are present, they are ready to learn. So we appreciate everything that you all are doing, and we are here for you all. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I am Miss Vaughn, and I am the 9th and 10th grade graduation coach. And like Miss Robinson said, we are here to help mentor the students. We are here to provide support. And some of the ways that we do this is if we notice there is an attendance problem, we will meet one-on-one with the students and kind of go over the importance of being in class with them. And we will invite parents if the parents want to attend. And during those meetings, we will try to make a plan for them to be successful. It may be checking in with them class by class, maybe checking in just daily or weekly. But we will be here to check in with students. If we see them in the hallways, we will encourage them to get back to class. We may walk them back to class. We are here for their safety, and then also to help mentor them and realize the importance of being in class. We also work with students if they have an attendance issue and get behind. We provide lunch tutorials where they are more than welcome to come during their lunchtime into the counseling suite and use that 40 minutes to eat lunch and work on some missing work. As Ms. Robinson mentioned, we help them find their missing work. So we might make a list and print out for them all their missing work so they can go through and check that off and get those completed. We'll encourage them to attend teachers' tutorials. There are so many tutorials offered every week that students can go to if they miss class. whether they were sick or not, they go to those tutorials and get caught up. Then other than that, we just try to establish a relationship with them so that they want to be here. And like Ms. Robinson was saying, sometimes when they have that support and they know someone cares for them, they are more encouraged to be here every day.
Hi, good morning. I just want to talk a little bit more about our Hispanic population here, or the students. What we are trying to do is also encourage them to be on time, to be always in school. And I try to speak with them, also with the parents, all the importance of being here, especially for the language, so they can get more familiarized with the language and the classes. If they keep missing or skipping classes, they will be a little bit behind because of the language barrier. Another thing is that I'm trying, and it's an effort with everybody, that they feel part of the school. They feel part of the community. Some of them they feel that they are not part because of the language. They don't have so much peers, or they may be difficult with them to talk with the teachers. But we want to connect them to the school. We want to connect not only the students, but also the parents. If they have some issues, they can call us and we can solve the situation, solve why they're missing school, why they're skipping weight, why they are feeling that they are not part of the school. And we want them to be part of the school because in the future, they will be part of our society. So we have a very good support here in school for the Hispanic community as well.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate that. You all have provided some very, very amazing and insightful information. I am trying to see if our resource officer is still on. Okay, so we're going to discuss attendance excuses and coding with Ms. Noble.
Hi, Ms. Johnson. I did not prepare anything. Tell me what you'd like me to explain.
If you can just share excused absences, unexcused absences, and kind of go through like the different coding, the process for parents to turn in notes as well.
Sure.
And I think that'll pretty much cover it.
Well, there are a lot of different options. If your child is ill, please do email us. There's a special email, MHS Attendance, which will go directly to everyone in the front office. So we can immediately code your child as excused for illness. And like Ms. Johnson said, if a few days go by and you've been to the doctor and you have a note, please do either email that to us or have the child bring it back in when they feel better. There are, so I really do wish I had made some bullet points here, because there are a lot of different options that are excused. And probably one of the things that parents might be interested in are the things that aren't excused. Everything is in the student handbook. So if you ever have questions, you may look there, or you feel free to email us and we'll let you know.
I'll jump in here for a second.
Yeah.
Sometimes you did fine, Ms. Noble. Sometimes parents want their absences to be excused for a number of different reasons for their students. And as Ms. Noble said, the handbook lays out the 5 that we go by. We use the state of Georgia guidelines as well. I realize that our students are involved, and all high school students are involved in lots and lots of different things. But there are just some things we can't excuse. And I know parents ask about that. Say my child's in a soccer tournament. Can that be, they're going to miss a Friday? Can that be excused? No. They're going on this experience to New York, educational experience to New York. If it's not a school sponsored event, it's not. It's an unexcused absence. But what we do here at Midtown is our teachers allow students to make up work. So there's not really a penalty for missing something. It's really important though that we have the right code. So you may see unexcused absence on your student's record, and it is true. Again, just look at the handbook, you'll see the reasons that you can get an excused absence. Also this year, we had a number of students that are for quarantine. We actually have students have missed almost 6,000 days this year for quarantine due to COVID, either exposure or positive tests. That's huge. But all of those are excused and they are coded quarantine. So they do not count against the student's absence and record. And I will say, in my 6 years here, I've never had a college or honestly an employer technical school ask about a student's attendance. So I know sometimes parents get really emotional about attendance coding, and Ms. Noble, Ms. Schroeder deal with that a lot, but it does not harm your students' college acceptance. We don't give awards for attendance as sometimes elementary and sometimes middle do. You don't get a certificate at the end of the year, that kind of thing. We do at times during the year give perfect attendance treats. Could be, sometimes we've done a candy apple, we've done ice cream, we've done cupcakes, we've done paraphernalia, swag. So, we do want to recognize students that have had perfect attendance for maybe a quarter or for a month, that kind of thing. The district provides some incentive money for that. And so we use that. So thank you. But I do want people to not take out their emotion on Ms. Schroeder, Ms. Noble, Ms. Johnson, Ms. Davis, who's kind of the attendance assistant principal, Ms. Rivera. Everybody's just trying to do their job. So thank you for remembering that.
And I'll add that communication is important. We are always we are willing, we are happy to put a note in the child's file. We love hearing about all the great experiences kids get. We're going to go tour this college. We have the opportunity to, we have some Olympic, pre-Olympic, right, athletes. That is terrific. Send us the information. We'll put it in the file. And that way, teachers will know if they go look, they'll know where your child was. It will be in the record. Whether or not it's excused is not the most important part. Sometimes the experience is worth an excused absence.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And I definitely agree. And even as a social worker, I know sometimes people can be like, social worker, what do you mean? I am here to partner with you. I'm here to solve problems. I am a problem solving social worker. I'm not a problem creating one. And so we definitely want to just try to help wherever we can. Please know that everything that we do, none of it is personal. We follow policy, we follow procedure, we follow protocol. These things are in place for a reason. Now, do we have creative ways in enforcing these? Absolutely. Do we have creative ways in trying to, fix the problems? Absolutely. But our whole goal is to make sure that your child is, number one, safe, make sure your child is where they're supposed to be, and make sure that they're being educated so that when they get out into the world, they can be productive citizens. And so even with safety, again, attendance is way bigger than the paperwork and the policies and the procedures and all of that. And I'm so glad to have our one of our student resource officers, Officer Barr, who is going to share some insight as to why we take attendance so very, very seriously here at Midtown.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to first of all start out by saying we're called SROs, and what SROs are school resource officers. And pretty much our role here is we're responsible for safety and crime prevention in the schools. We are all sworn officers, which means that we wear guns and we're in uniform just as we would if we were out on the streets. And so we do have our certifications through POST, which is located here at Fort South, Georgia. So basically, I'm here to talk about the safety at the school. We can honestly say the attendance is so important because lately I would say about 90% of our incidents that happen where the students come to school, they leave the campus, and when they leave the campus, we all know that the demographics of this school is so enticing to do so many different things. I mean, we've got the park over there, we've got Starbucks, we've got Woody. So it's just so many things that entice our students to leave the campus. And so when they leave the campus like that, things do tend to happen. And so I can say from my 5 years of being here, 90% of the most violent things that happen with our students are when they cut classes and they go across the street to Piedmont Park. So basically, with the safety, when we talk about attendance, it just pretty much helps to promote and protect our students. It keeps them from violence, keeps them from being exposed to weapons, other threats, harassment, bullying, drugs, the use of drugs, the selling of drugs. And so, the school is that safe place for them. And so it's important that when attendance is taken, that they, remain on campus, because that way we can monitor what goes on with them a great percentage of the time. So, school safety, it is linked to improving our student and the school's outcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Officer Barr. We greatly appreciate you and everything that you do to of course keep our students and our community safe. So now we are going to yield to Dr. Bachman, because just know that we have a vision here at Midtown. We have goals here at Midtown to keep, our students safe, to make sure that they're graduated, hopefully off to college, doing great things. And so, of course, as the principal and the leader of Midtown High School, we definitely want to yield to her, and just so she can share some insight and vision as to some of, what we want to do here, and how do we see how attendance should go here at Midtown High.
I'm sorry, Ms. Johnson, what exactly, I couldn't quite understand what you were saying. What exactly did you need me to?
Oh,
reiterate?
just to share the vision for Midtown, just to say, well, in general, we want students in their seats on time every day.
Right.
If a child is confronted about being, about skipping, it would definitely help us if we could just help them get to class and kind of help your student understand that the whole reason why we're doing this is to keep them safe. So just the overall vision for Midtown.
And Ms. Johnson just did a great summary
Oh.
of that. So I guess the pressing concern here this year, as far as attendance, is tardiness to school. That has always been an issue at Midtown, but it's even more this year. The tardiness to first period is what we call it, because we don't have a homeroom. These kids go right into first period, and that tardiness has been pretty high this year. And we really try to talk to parents about that being in first period by 8:45 is really important. It's important for teaching and learning. It is extremely disruptive for kids to continue to walk in late in class. And I think what parents have to always remember is, because as a parent, we always think about our child, but there are 1,550 students here. And so every day there are at least, and Ms. Noble and Ms. Schroeder can say, but at least 100 kids that come after 8:45. So that's a code. It takes a lot of time to code, but it's really disruptive to first period. It's disruptive to kids that are trying to learn, teachers that are teaching. Do teachers then need to go back and reteach to those students? Having been in classrooms when I observe, I can just tell you it's very disruptive. So the on time is very important. It also is cementing work habits that are critical, college habits, work habits. While the world of work has changed, the majority of jobs, students, and all of us have to be on time. And so that's what we're trying to do. We also, students need to remember that the adults here do have the right to tell them to go to class on time. Sometimes, I think, as I said in one of my letters recently, it's been a real challenge to get students back into normal rules and procedures. And, I've noticed that over the year, we're doing a little bit better, but it has been a process. Students were very independent at home. Their accountability was, their own. They were able to come into classes late, Zooming in, that kind of thing. Some kids didn't come in at all. And so it's a process to get everybody back into healthy habits, academically healthy habits. So we are working on that. If we hate for it to ever escalate into a discipline situation, where it's kind of a student is insubordinate, that kind of thing. We hate for that to happen, but we are working toward, and hopefully August 1 of next year, we'll really be able to hit this hard. But anything you can do to get your children in first period by 8:45, not signing in at 8:45, not that they need to be in class at 8:45, ready to learn. And I don't know if a child is late before 9:15, they are to sign in the cafeteria. They do not sign in up here in the office until 9:16. So thanks for remembering that.
All right, thank you so very much. And again, this is definitely meant to be more of an informational forum. We definitely wish that we could take all of the questions, right, that may be coming in, but we want to definitely make sure that you have access to any of us. If you have any questions directly, you definitely can contact us via email, or you can give us a call, or you can call 404-802-3000 and reach any of us at any given moment, and we will be glad to answer any questions as it pertains to attendance. Just know that we're doing everything that we can to make sure that your children are safe. That's our number one priority, is to make sure that they're safe, which is why we hark on them being in class, being on time. And so there was a question about whether or not this recording will be available. Yes, it will be. We'll figure out a way for you all to access it. But this definitely is being recorded so that you can share. We'll have more talks like this, especially at the beginning of the year, before all the kids come back, so that we can kind of prepare our hearts and our minds for the work and preparing them to be in place. So it would be really great, of course, if we can, we'll host one sometime late in July, where parents and students can actually attend, so that students can hear this information as well. Because we all know that our students sometimes, that's not real. I thought we could leave campus. I thought we could go to Starbucks. We hear it all the time when we do truancy sweeps, because we actually do have truancy sweeps here in the district, where Atlanta police officers and MARTA police officers work together, and they corral students that are skipping. They bring them back to the school, and the very first thing that we hear is, "I did not know that I could not leave campus." And well, you cannot. It is a safety issue, and so we take every opportunity to say that you are not allowed to leave campus during lunch. You must stay here on campus. And so we just want to thank you all so much for your time. Thank you so much for being amazing parents. Thank you for being involved. We greatly appreciate you. We do everything that we can to try to keep them safe as best we can. We have all boots on the grounds. We're in the hallways in between classes. Just know that we are doing the best that we can, and we have your student safety and interest at heart. And so thank you all so much again for your attendance. We'll make sure that this recording is available, and I will stay behind, but everyone else is definitely free to go if something is just absolutely pressing. But thank you so much again, and that concludes our presentation. Take care.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I was wondering, is this a meeting that's just for specific parents, or is this an open meeting to all parents?
Yes, ma'am. Open to all parents. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Hey, Ms. Johnson, is this going to be available? The recorded?
Yes, it will be. We'll make sure that this recording is available.
Okay, thank you.
You're
and
very
if we have
welcome.
specific questions, can we reach out to you?
Yes, you sure can.
Give you a call?
Yes, ma'am, you sure can.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome. Take care.